Hi, and excuse the rather unorthodox location for our chat today. We're on lockdown for the coronavirus, and bizarrely enough, we all received a text message from the UK government basically this morning to let us know the guidelines for movement within society during this time. That really gives you an example of how pervasive mobile is and how it's become really integrated into our life. I mean, the number of people who have mobile is obviously a huge percentage of the population. You now have mobile devices which are communication devices, or internet browsers, GPS trackers. You've got cameras in there. You've got still camera. You've got video camera. You've got image processing used there as well, so if you want, you can recognise license plates on there if you're a traffic warden, etc. It's a dictation machine where you can do voice to text. That's getting better all the time. It's an accelerometer, so if you want to go out and go for a run, then it can log your steps using the accelerometer. It's a barcode scanner, so you can go to a supermarket and scan a product and compare prices across other supermarkets if you so wish. It's a data capture device where you can go out and gather data in the field, take photographs, etc. Gather text, descriptions for documentation purposes. It's a notepad as well, so you can make, and it's also a money wallet. Things like Apple Pay now allow you to obviously make payments using mobile. So it really has pretty much transformed life. It's really difficult to imagine life without mobile at this point in time. Okay, so the business applications of mobile apps are just almost far too numerous to really imagine. We ourselves do mobile data capture applications. We allow field workers to gather data, including text, video, photos, audio, out in the field, which means that they never have to actually visit the office. You see it every day. You might be using a device for payment. I use the Apple Pay for payment if I'm going to the supermarket. We also see applications of mapping GPS tracking. So you'll see people who are yet again managing field workers who are out there in the field and they track where the workers are, so that perhaps if there's a call out, they can send the closest worker. This just wouldn't be possible without mobile applications and some of the technology in mobile phones. Every day you're seeing things like retail businesses using putting their loyalty cards onto mobiles as well. You're seeing kind of citizen-based apps, like apps that will use the accelerometer on the phone, so that if somebody's driving along and they've got the app and there happens to be a pothole in the road, the app will use a bit of accelerometer measures as well as some machine learning to actually recognise that the car has hit a pothole and then perhaps report that back. You see applications like Waze, where all the traffic information that you get, where you see real-time snarl-ups on motorways, are because people have an app that's reporting back the kind of movement of their phone effectively. So in terms of business applications, they really are just too numerous to mention, and there's new applications being made available all the time. You're seeing also as well a big move within the manufacturers to put more and more powerful chips on the devices, especially ones with neural networks for artificial intelligence and machine learning. So you're seeing things like facial recognition and object recognition, as well as improved speech recognition on these phones as well. Pretty much the modern smartphone is really the conduit for many business applications now, and the phone is also it's also just a lot more widely available than PCs. Many people don't have PCs just now, so they have mobile devices. So for most businesses, it makes sense to capture that market by having a mobile app or having a website that is mobile responsive. And you're seeing things like in the past where people might not do online shopping because of the hassle of typing in credit cards, etc. on websites when phones weren't so good. You're now seeing quite a big adoption of mobile shopping. A lot of people will shop on mobile devices. They don't have to go to their desktop PC, and indeed, as I said previously, sometimes they don't have the desktop PC. Okay, so the key benefit of adopting mobile as an integral part of your business processes is really twofold. I always believe there's two reasons to adopt technology generally in business and a lot of even public organisations. One of them's to make money and one of them's to save money. I think it's almost as simple as that. It may be a softer connection between these, but it is to make money or save money. So in terms of saving money, what we do ourselves with some of the apps that we have is we are making field workers more efficient out in the field. So effectively what you're doing is that we for example have people who used to go out with pen and paper, take down notes on an inspection, they then go back and type up that inspection. It takes a couple of days, one day out in the field, one day typing in back in the office. Now we have an application there that allows those field workers to gather all that information in a structured manner out in the field, and then the document that they would produce is produced automatically with no need to go back to the office. They even don't need to go back to the office to get their new work because all the work's kind of sent to them electronically as well. So that's an example of saving money. I talked, I think, earlier on about loyalty cards, but that might be a way of making money, because what you're doing there is you're keeping, if you have loyalty cards on a phone, sometimes people have loyalty cards for numerous businesses, then coffee shop, supermarket, etc. Then they don't have room in their wallet to carry all these around, so they put them on their phone, mobile app. You've also got the electronic benefit of being able to push offers to people, which you can't do with a card. So you're seeing this as a way to really engage with the customer, so you can effectively use it as a sales channel, as well as a channel that you can gather preferences for the customer, as long as privacy aside that the customer has agreed to that. But if somebody goes to a coffee shop and always buys a cappuccino, then it might make sense to offer them a deal on a cappuccino rather than an Earl Grey tea, for example. So I think, like all technology, it's about saving money or making money, and it really is pretty specific to somebody's own business as to how mobile can help in those sort of scenarios. Okay, so areas that you're likely to see an evolution in the mobile front in the future, things like wearables. I think things like the Apple Watch obviously will be something that's been around for a few years now, but is just getting more powerful. You've got things like ECG on there for measuring kind of heart rhythm, etc. Another thing is it just general sensors. I think you've seen more sensors. You've seen kind of sensors for diabetes, etc., being available that link to your smartphone and give you real time monitoring. So I think those are quite interesting around wearables. I think, talking of wearables, you may see things like glasses. Obviously, we had Google Glass. I know Facebook and Amazon are kind of working on glasses at the minute for augmented reality, so where you can walk along and see things appear within your field of vision. It could be ads, it could be directions, etc. Those kind of things. That's a very interesting area. I think artificial intelligence in general, I think you'll see machines, or certainly mobile phones, machines, getting more and more smart. So I think you're already seeing speech recognition, which if you think a few years ago, and if you have been using speech recognition a few years ago, then wasn't particularly great. There's all sorts of comedy sketches about words being misheard and mistranslated, but you begin to see very good levels of speech recognition even in noisy environments. You can see things like translation. If you're going abroad and you have a phone that you can speak into in English and it will translate to Spanish or German or Chinese, whatever, then I think that's a really interesting area which is just round the corner. So I think there's a lot of different areas, and it's a brave person who decides to predict the future, because sure enough, you won't be right. So I'm sure there's some left of field things that certainly haven't thought of yet that are going to come. But my view is, for business, you really have to be thinking ahead. What is out there? What are you going to be offering to your customers in the future? Because if you're not, then somebody else will be. And here we are, just almost to round off. We are in the COVID-19 kind of era here. People are on lockdown. There are people who have shops who perhaps are not online and they're closed, and yet you still have online shops who are still able to deliver goods to people. So you can kind of see almost the differential between the companies who adopt technology and the companies who don't, and how resilient sometimes it makes them to unexpected threats. And I think that's the same with mobile, that you have to really keep ahead of the game and really try and think how you can offer your clients something that nobody else does, or keep up with everybody else and offer them something that is expected by the client. Thank you.